Welcome to J.A.M Media, or J.A.M for short, where I talk to people about the things that I'm passionate about. Today I'm here with the current MCW heavyweight champion, Jonah Rock. Welcome to the show, Jonah.
Thank you.
We're here at New Horizons for MCW.
Mm.
You just defended the title. How are you feeling?
Beat up, but at the same time I feel really good because I think the match was what people paid for. So they paid to see a big guy beat up Dowie, and I think that's what I did.
And you're a founding member of TMDK.
That's right, yep.
How's it been to be a part of that group as it's grown and exploded across the world?
It's been really good. So when I joined, it was just after Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes, who started it. They approached myself, Elliot Sexton, and Marcus Pitt to join. We all joined, and then from that, I was able to go to Japan with it. So I was actually the three of us in Japan wrestling all the time together. So it's been amazing. And now those guys are in WWE. I'm trying to get out and around the world a bit more. Sexton's in the States. We have Hartley Jackson in our group, who's also in Japan as well at the moment. So it's definitely a global group, which I don't think any other stable of people in Australia has. So.
And speaking of your time in Japan, you were with Pro Wrestling Noah.
That's right, yep.
How was that experience?
Tough. So very, very tough. When I went over there, like my trainer, Hartley Jackson, he was trained by legendary wrestler Antonio Inoki. So when he trained me in the same style. So squats, push-ups, he beat us all up. But it made us tough. So by the time I did go to Japan and they said, do 200 squats, 600 sit-ups, and 300 push-ups, which we had to do every day. At first, I was like, oh, shit. But then I got used to it because of the training I've already done. But then apart from that, I got to learn like a whole new style of wrestling. And I was always since I was a teenager, a big fan of Japanese wrestling. So I loved it. It was great.
And did you do the dojo or did you just do tours?
Both. So I lived in the dojo. So when we didn't tour, I'd be there training in the dojo. So the first time I went there, it was purely just training and then the shows. The second time I was there, I almost moved up levels. So second big stay that I was there for the 4 months. I wrestled on the shows, but I didn't have to do as much in training. I could focus more on my own gym things. And then by the third time, I was actually helping training people, so training the young boys there in Japan. So, yeah.
And now that the Australian scene is booming so much, why do you think it is that?
I think it's the talent. I think for a long time we've had really good talent, but no one's really noticed us. And now that you do have guys going overseas, obviously the guys that are in WWE like TM61, but then you have guys like Nick Moretti, who's going over the States and is doing a lot of the indie companies. People are starting to notice that, these Australian guys are good. So then they look online, type Australian wrestling, you'll find MCW, PWA, Wrestle Rampage, you find all these things. So I think the more that the guys here can get those opportunities, the better it's going to get. So, I'm going to the States soon. I'm hoping that's just going to create more opportunities for other people to go as well.
Yeah, and speaking of heading over the States, heading over there for PWG Bowler.
That's right, yeah. So,
excited or nervous? You both?
Not so much nervous. I'm also I've always said, if I get a platform, that's all I need, and then I'll shine, sort of thing. So I did the same thing with Japan. The first match I had, all the promoters and trainers were watching, and I just killed it. Same thing with here. When I actually first ever wrestled for MCW, it was a dark match. 7 years ago now, maybe. Dark match, and now I'm the champion. So just hard work, and I'm hoping when I get there, my first round opponent is Zack Sabre Jr., who I lived with in Japan. So we're just going to beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, hopefully
nice mix of styles.
Yeah, and hopefully it's what gets me noticed, and then again, more Australian wrestlers get noticed as well.
And speaking of Australian wrestlers getting noticed, New Japan had their tryouts here today.
That's right. Yep.
Are you allowed to speak about that at all?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to speak of it. I can say it was a successful tryout. They have been to other countries, and the wrestling hasn't been what they thought it would be. It's not as good. So myself, I did a WWE tryout last year. It was the same thing. So you had guys like William Regal coming over, and they didn't expect the talent to be as good as it was. So now that you have companies like WWE, New Japan, coming to the country, seeing how good the talent is, they're only going to want to try and invest in that as well. So went successful. I think a lot of the guys should be proud of what they did today.
And with New Japan being here, do you think that could be a step to them having a bigger presence in Australia?
I think so. I think with how big, in the last couple of years, New Japan's got New Japan World, which is like the WWE network, and they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think they're just looking for more and more avenues where they can go and where they can just sell their product even more. And I think Australia, hotbed for wrestling that people don't notice. So I'm hoping that this leads to a whole New Japan tour.
And with the Australian scene booming so much, do you think we could see a company like MCW on free-to-air TV anytime?
That's the goal. Like when I started wrestling in 2007, again, my trainer, he said that the only way that Australian wrestling is going to get back to its heyday, the 60s and 70s, is if we get free-to-air TV. And I know that there has been a few companies trying to get that, but they weren't, unfortunately, the best talent. So those guys made a bad name for Australian wrestling. People see it go, oh, this is crap, I'd rather watch WWE, whatever else. But I think now is the time with the talent that we do have, and with international guys coming over, you make that mix. If it was presented to free-to-air, I think we could definitely get something going, which is going to benefit everyone. I know everyone in Australian wrestling, people are struggling, and I know they want wrestling to be their job, and I think that's what people want. It's ideal. You can stay in your country, wrestle, make money.
Yep. And finally, where do you see yourself and possibly MCW in the next 5 years?
It's hard to say. I've been wrestling for a long time, and my original goal was to just be able to wrestle in Japan. I did that. Then it was to just be able to go around the country, be main event, and I did that. I main event every state that in this country. I've been a champion in every state in the country. Now it's more so I want to start making a career of it. So when I was in Japan for Noah, it was my career. That was my sole income. But then contracts change and things change, and then it gets hard when you come back here and you're so segregated from the rest of the world. So hopefully I see myself in one of those big companies working.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I'm going to kill it.
Thanks. If you enjoyed this interview, please like the video and head on over to jamyatsmedia.com so that I can continue to bring you more interviews like this in the future. Thanks.